No, you're fine. You're fine. I think there's a lot of dimensions to this Will and Jada story, and this last level that we just got a chance to experience, which is a human being, Will Smith being a human being, showing human emotions. It seems like he just takes and takes and takes a lot of um, different criticisms just from his book, from his music, from some of his movies to the whole August Alsina situation. And I think maybe those things have just kind of like bubbled over. And the whole, G.I. Jane joke, I think Chris just came in at a bad time with that. And he's protecting his wife. He's human, like outside of being a millionaire and an entertainer and someone that always has an amazing reserve. Like he's always reserved. You never see Will really step out of character, except when that one guy kind of like kissed him on the lip or something, and he smacked him and said, "Don't you ever do that," or something like that. Like we never see him really getting out of character or just showing anger or emotion, really. So to see this, it had to be like bubbled up inside of him to do that. And so I think, we have to just realize that these people are human. He has human emotions, and he was protecting his wife at that point in time. And whatever, I think he's willing to deal with any repercussions that comes his way, and he's going to bow out gracefully if necessary, which is what he's doing in some cases.
Right.
As a man, I take two stance in this, and I'm gonna share both points. Because as a man, I can understand him wanting to be the protector of his family. That's what we are. That's what our job is to do, is to protect. And you all know my stand on it was the moment it happened and we started to hear all of this and see all of that. I took the stand of, if you're going to disrespect somebody's wife, then you got to stand on that, regardless of whatever comes your way. Because at the end of the day, I got to take my wife's feelings into consideration, and I gotta protect her, right? Because you don't know what she said to me at home. You don't know what type of arguments, what type of discussions, what type of issues that we may have had with her feeling like I wasn't there for her when she needed me to be, right? Two, the moment I allow you to disrespect her, and in front of my face, also in front of her face, and she's displeased by it, then I'm allowing the world to do the same thing, right? And as a man, it's my responsibility to make sure any and everything that's a part of me, with me, under me, is valued, right? As we can say all day long, well, he laughed. She didn't. Well, he thought it was funny. She didn't. He went too far. She didn't, right? I step up and I gotta respect that. How many times have he been disrespected? His family's name, his household, the whole circumference of the Smith family been disrespected in the media through the entanglement situation, her going on different podcasts and different forums and saying how she's never experienced real love or being sexually loved the right way by him. People get tired of that. And he got tired of it, right? The true mark of a man is recognizing and understanding your mistake and you owning up to it. It ain't to glaze over it. It ain't to look past it. It ain't to stumble. It's to stand in the face of adversity. And that's what this man is doing. That's what yes, we can persecute him and say, I would have did this. I would have did that. Y'all didn't have to live with that. He does. Right? Who at the end of the day is this harming? It's not harming us. It's harming him. He's facing backlash. We gonna wake up at night. I mean, we gonna go to bed at night. We gonna wake up in the morning the same. But he has to deal with that. And I respect him as a man for standing up and having the courage, not only to stand up in the face of somebody who his wife felt like she was being bullied, but also be even a bigger man and say, I apologize for letting my actions spoil the moment that this was. I'm not apologizing for standing up for my wife. I'm apologizing for this being such a big circus, right? Also taking the responsibility and saying, okay, I understand that this was uncalled for in these people's home, right? Because that's like us going to somebody else's house and causing havoc in it. We gotta, we gonna be asked to leave or not even be invited back. He realized, yo, I made a mistake. I acted out in your home. I'm apologizing for that. But to the world, don't you dare disrespect my wife in front of me again. Regardless of how we want to accept it or explain it or whatever truths we want to feel about it, that's that man's wife. That's the mother of his children. That's the woman who shares his last name. And how many times do we hear women saying, oh, you never stand up for us. You don't never take our side. You do for everybody else. You don't never do for me. That energy needs to be the same energy each and every time. But also, she now has a responsibility to protect her husband. And that's where the problem comes in at for me. Because not once have we heard a clip, a side note, a clear of the throat of her saying, hey, I felt disrespected by Chris and my husband took care of it. Or I understand my husband's actions may have been a little far left, but I stand with my husband. Not once has she said that. She's been on countless of interviews about the entanglement situation. She's been on countless of interviews saying how she loved Tupac. She's been on countless of interviews saying how Will has never satisfied her sexually. And this last week, have we heard anything from Jada other than a smirk or a smile from her sitting in the front row of that audience? So women, you have a responsibility to your man the same way as we have a responsibility to y'all to protect us as well. And she failed to do that. What I see Jada as, I see her as what we call T, a shit starter. Right? She takes no responsibility for the very thing that he took responsibility of, and that was the Smith home. She has went out there in the public and she has made fun of this man. She has went on the public and has not covered this man for any of the things that has went on in their relationship. So what? They have an open relationship. That's something that they decided to do in their own home. The moment they got out is the moment she needs to speak up and say something about it. The moment that she decided to say he wasn't a real lover or she didn't feel loved by him, that's the moment she keeps her fucking mouth shut and she talks to him about it in their home. So she has a responsibility. The moment she's seeing that man get up there and attempt to walk to the stage, knowing if it was real, fake, or not, she's supposed to step in front and say, honey, now's not the time. We can handle it the place.
I agree.
Right? As a man, I wrote something. Like it was on my heart. I even wrote something. So yes, Tia, I got a letter. Right? Like you said, I wrote a poem. I got a letter. As a man, I Jada turned the switch on Will.
No, hold on before you.
I'm going in. Say I can't.
I just want to say that, me and Nell and our whole crew, we lost a friend, from this kind of thing. We lost a friend from this kind of thing, from him protecting his wife. Mm-hmm. So we lost a friend from this kind of thing. And in this manner, some of these things can be avoided if the woman doesn't place her man in these positions. And that part is not being, discussed enough. But you can go ahead now with the poem.
Damn, dog. That part right there, right? Right. I try to like get that out my mental, right? Because as you said, we lost a good friend. And this person is my best friend. Right. Lil, who we talk about on the show. He lost his life because his wife couldn't mind her business. Right. The reason why he's dead is because she was minding her business and put their family in harm's way. And this right here gives me that same kind of feel, right? It's like, ladies, we will stand for you until the day is long, but you got to stand for us as well. But as I said, I wrote something, and I wrote this. As a man, I feel Jada turned the switch on Will last night. As you see, Will is laughing and bright. The moment is for him, right? And her face is just pure annoyance. I do understand she lost her hair due to a condition and is a sensitive topic for all women. However, once the cameras was off of them, I feel she scorned Will for laughing and may have insulted him. She already has this man in a sensitive space because of her entanglement and saying how she is unsatisfied sexually by him. To me, it seems Will felt like he had to stand up for Jada so that he can be seen as valuable and doesn't look weak in her eyes. Sadly, on the contrary, he looked even weaker and even more broken. Her face after the slap was an enjoyment at the cost of her husband's termed quote-unquote wild behavior. And now he will be a meme all over again and also won't be respected in his own field. I'm losing all respect for Jada, especially as a man who supposedly is supposed to, as a woman, you are supposed to help your man elevate and stay positive through all courses of actions. And she seems to be bringing him down. Right? Miss Smith, Miss Jada Pinkett Smith, I think you should be the one who takes a look in the mirror and has to ask these tough questions, because if you don't, you're only going to cause more dysfunction in your home and more dysfunction in your family.
I can't say you're wrong there when you put it that way. I really cannot say you're wrong because I have not seen her come forward. And I don't know if she's had another segment of Red
She's not doing
Table,
it. She's not
because
doing
even if no one has came to her, she has her own platform that I agree with you 100%. She should have gotten up there the next day in defense of her husband.
I mean, we all don't know what's going on behind all these closed doors, but it's getting out of control.
It's good.
It's really getting out of control. They need to put a handle on it and just chill, because it's really getting out of control.
Hey, you see me switch my hat, right? You see what I'm rocking. This is for Chris Rock's brother. I'm from Philly, bro, and I'm rocking for Will. So Chris Rock's brother, you came with a little bit of energy the other night. You don't really want to see nobody out here for it.
I'm not mad at Chris Rock's brother, though. He's standing up for his brother, man.
Bro.
That's what he's supposed to do, man.
But at the end of the day, I get it. But when your brother gonna stand up for himself?
True.
Right?
But that's not his character. They're saying, Chris is the one that was bullied, practically his whole, childhood.
But we know. See, this is the thing with society. We scream this I'm bully shit, but you gotta realize the moment something come out your mouth crazy, you gotta stand on that.
Right.
So yeah, he got smacked and he didn't do anything, so it made him look like the good guy, but he still said something that was to somebody that they didn't like. Chris Rock never got that energy for the white woman.
Look, I still don't believe it was a real smack, though, but I'm not.
I'm so sick of we going on platforms as comedians, as influencers, as whatever, and degrading our black person. Right. Chris Rock said before he got to Will and Jada, "Oh, Penelope Cruz, your husband's going to be mad at you, or your wife is going to be mad because if you don't win this Oscar and she don't win, then she's going to be mad if you win." Now he jumps to Will. If Will wins, Jada Pinkett or she G.I. Jane. Like, why we gotta keep disrespecting our black women in public? Like, you a black man, bro. Why you gotta always throw the shade to us? The energy don't never be the same on the stages when it comes to black versus white when we under that light. We gotta stop playing with our own self and value our own self and stand up for our own self. I take that as him standing up for his wife, his black wife. Regardless if she looked at him mad, she said, smack the shit out of him, whatever. We got to do something to the point where we got to stop being a butt of all jokes. He said this before about this woman in 2016. He said things, he always says things, and his energy don't always be the same. I'm not for that.